Welcome back, everyone, to OpenLine. We have with us Councilman At-Large Bob Mendes. We're talking about the budget. We're talking about a plan, proposed plan to privatize on-street parking in Davidson County. We have several calls. We'll just go back to the phones here. Let's go to Kathleen. Hello, Kathleen.
Yes, good evening. How you doing?
Great. Go right ahead. What's on your mind?
Listen, I'm 76 years old. I've been in Nashville all my life. And I have a couple of comments. When Carl Dean was mayor, he rushed through and took farmers market away from the middle class and the poor people where we couldn't go down there. Now here he comes with this private parking. And I don't understand why we get all of these things. These companies, Amazon coming here, going to give them all this money to come here. The schools are still in bad shape. Now, is Briley going to put one of these meters in front of his house or on the street where he lives? We're not able, the poor people and the middle class people, we're not able to come downtown with the parking at the price it is now. And I think he's railroading this thing through here too fast. I think they need more time to sit down and go through this stuff and make sure it's the right decision. He's in a hurry to do it, and the reason y'all need to find out why Mayor Briley's in such a hurry to get this. Because it don't seem like it's something wrong with this picture. It's something wrong with it.
All right. Kathleen?
And I hope that whoever the next mayor is will be better than the last two we had, because I voted for both of them, but I'm not sure I'll vote for the next mayor because they're not doing anything to help the middle class and the poor people in Nashville. And y'all have a great day.
All right, Kathleen, thank you. She's opposed. At this point, wants you to slow down, take a better look at it, and is concerned that this prevents middle class, lower middle class from coming downtown. You know, what about that thought?
Well, I mean, this is another one where I think the details might actually work the other way. Right now, people who I think work downtown will take a metered spot and then leave their car there all day, and the spots don't turn. I know I've more than once tried to park on Fifth Avenue between Church and Union, and if I get there at 7:15 a.m., I can park there for a little bit, but after that, there's never a spot there. And I think people are just parking all day and not getting a ticket. So turning the spots will help people who live here come downtown, find a spot, be able to park without paying $20-some for a parking lot. So I think this is one of the reasons why I want to keep an open mind about it, because it's got the potential to turn spots more quickly, which let people come for a couple hours, do whatever they're doing downtown, and then leave without paying that $20.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's go to Fred. Hello, Fred.
Well, hello.
Go right ahead. What's on your mind?
Well, there's several things. Number one, I'm 89 years old, so I knew Beverly Briley very well. Mm. And Beverly Briley had one main thing in his mind, and that is take care of the citizens of Nashville. And that's not happening now. What we're doing, we're bringing people into Nashville without any regard whatsoever to the people who are already here. And that's a heck of a thing to do. Number two, my wife and I are both crippled. My wife has bad knees, and she's completely blind in the left eye and only has 10% of vision left in her right eye. So that means that when she and I get around, and I have a broken hip, that means that we need a handicapped parking place that we can get into and out of. And there's no provision that I can see made for handicapped people. Now, this is a shame. Now, if I fall, somebody has to help me up. I can't get up by myself. And if my wife and I both fall, which is very likely, when we try to go long distances without a place to park, that's even worse. So, is there any provision being made to take care of the people who are already here instead of trying to bring more people into Nashville? They're building 3 houses. No, I take that back. They built 3 houses on 1.2 acres next door to me. They're building 6 more, a total of 9 houses. Now that's ridiculous. They've cut down beautiful trees. They're building these tall, narrow houses 5 feet apart. Now this is ridiculous.
Well, Fred, thank you. Well, let's talk about that, and I'll let you address that. But perhaps what we're hearing is frustration about more than parking. This is landing at a time when there's frustration about other things, and there hasn't been a lot of information from the mayor's office, and perhaps we're hearing some of that frustration. But I'll let you respond to what Fred said.
Sure. I mean, a month or so ago, the cherry blossom tree incident was about more than the cherry blossoms. You know, it was the same frustration that we just heard from this gentleman. And, you know, whether it takes the form of objecting to a dozen trees getting chopped down for an NFL stage, or whether it takes the form of people not wanting to get parking tickets and have to pay more to park at meters around the city. I think it's the same thing. There is a, you know, Nashville is very optimistic about the city generally, but when it comes to government, for the last year and a half, there's been plenty of reasons to not particularly trust us, and we all get lumped in together, whatever our positions are on individual things, and that's totally fair, and that's what we're hearing. Listen, we're not going to be able to stop Nashville from growing. You know, for 40 years, people have been moving to the American Southeast, and that's going to keep happening. We can either get growth, absorb it smartly, or we can be dense about it, and hopefully we do a better job. You know, it's got to be about people who have been here as well as people who are new, and people just don't trust right now that the city's doing a good job of balancing that, and frankly, chronically underfunding the government for several years running and selling off one-time assets for sugar highs of cash that don't last long. That doesn't help how people feel about trusting the government.
So if there is that lack of trust, this is a tough time to try and pass something like this. It's just tough, and that's where we find ourselves.
Yeah, and you know, every day is the best day to start earning that trust back. It's unfortunate that we have to figure out this parking deal at the same time as the budget, because it could be, again, I've got an open mind, it could be that there's things that we like about it.
Let's go to Cheryl. Hello, Cheryl?
Hello.
Go right ahead.
Okay, the meter maids once were the ones who were going to be police officers. They picked up the coins back in the day. So here's my question. Who's going to collect that money? Does it go back into the general fund, or is it going to help the police officers and get their raises? Where's the money going? I just want to know. And number two of it is, you know what all these people talk about? You need a credit card to put your meter, put the meter thing in. We need to update and all this stuff. No, go to the bank and get you some coins. You're in Nashville. That's how we've done it. That's how we like it. So go to the bank. It ain't gonna tell you to go to the bank and get some coins. Because credit cards, when you stand in line and these folks got your credit cards zip in, zip out, okay, sometimes they don't do it. Number two, they don't pay their bill. I'm paying cash all the time. That's what the money was currency is for. Money, because look what's happened with everybody with credit cards. Look what's happened to them. Identity theft. If I got a paper dollar, ain't nobody got identity theft me.
Okay.
I'm just saying, come on, Nashville, wake up.
Come on, Nashville. Okay. All right. Well, Cheryl, thank you. So she's saying go to the bank, get some coins. She's saying, where is all the money going? I mean, I think there's some indication of where it's going to go, but what do you want to say there to Cheryl?
So there will be more people out enforcing meters. There'll be employees of the private company. And then as far as the flow of funds, that's one of the things that I don't have the details for. I understand, I've been told that the flow of funds will still flow through Metro. So you know, if possession is 9/10 of the law, you know, whoever holds the cash has got some leverage, and I'm hoping to see when I actually read the contract that Metro is always the one holding the cash, and they're the ones making payments out, as opposed to the contractor collecting all the money, and then we got to wait to get payment. But that's the thing I don't know the answer to at this point.
Currently, our parking system generates $1.5 million a year, approximately $1.5 million a year, and Metro has said we'll get this upfront payment of $34 million for the first 2 years, and then we're guaranteed $1.5 million a year for the rest of this 30-year contract, adjusted for inflation. So it goes up, and that's where they're getting the $300 million. Obviously, the company would make more than that. they have to take some sort of profit, but they would be the ones putting in. They would pay the capital outlay to put in the new meters, and then there's an enforcement component there. And I guess I don't fully understand the enforcement component. That's what kind of concerns people. Today in the meeting, again, when asked about booting, he said he's not sure, the mayor's representative, but said if there's a ticket, somebody from Public Works would have to sign off on the ticket. In other words, Metro's not giving up total control, but there would be this component where the company has some enforcement. Do you have any sense of the enforcement side of this and what the company could do that's going to be doing this?
Again, I've been told, and I hope this is confirmed when I see the proposal and read the contract, that Metro retains control over those issues. And so when you say somebody from Public Works would have to sign off on the ticket, I hear that to mean that when you go to court, if you got to go to court on the traffic ticket, usually everybody's going to pay it. But if you don't pay it, one day you got to go to court over it, and the witness would be a Metro Public Works employee, not the contractor. Again, details we don't know. And then I guess the other thing I was going to say is that on the revenue split, you couldn't get to $300 million by just getting the $1.5 million per year. It's been explained to me that the $1.5 million per year is a floor. And that there will be a revenue split that they've had to project, and I think the average over the 30 years, it's backloaded, but that it would average to $7 or $8 million a year once the revenue split was done.
Okay, all right, we're going to take a break. If you're on the line, we have James, Larry, others on the line. Hold on. We'll take a break. We'll take your call. We'll be back right after this.